Now this is long overdue, but you guys have been begging me for my center build that I've been using this year, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you not only the build but also all of the animations that I use on this build as well. Now this has been one of my favorite builds that I've ever made in any 2K, and that's because it's 7'4" and you could literally do everything on the floor. As always, I'm not going to waste too much time. Let's get right into the builder, but make sure to like, subscribe, turn the post notifications on, because we are on the grind to 200k subs. Now obviously jumping into the builder, we have Pro Tune, NBA builds, community builds. We're not going to be using any of those. We're going to be able to create this build from scratch on the create your own builder. So that is exactly what we're going to do. We don't want to have to change anything that's already there on a build. So we're just going to go to the create your own builder, hand in his jersey number, name, all of that. Doesn't change how the build plays. Do whatever you want. I normally go right-handed, number 99. Doesn't change how the build plays. That's completely up to you. After that, though, obviously we're 7'4", so we are going to go with a 7'4" build, and the only way you're able to do that is going to be at the center position. So we're going with center to start it off. Said it 4 times already. 7'4". Our weight, this is kind of controversial, but there's a reason for this. I went with 246 pounds. Now the reason I went with 246 pounds is because we want to be able to dribble on this 7'4" build, and when you're dribbling, you don't want to have a 30 speed running around trying to dribble. It's just not going to work. So I dropped this to a 246 weight, and that's going to allow us to get a higher speed with ball, higher speed, be able to play defense easier, and all of that. And then our wingspan, the other controversial thing, but we are going to have a 7'4" wingspan matching our height. And also there is a reason for that, is because that's going to allow us to be able to get these crazy shooting attributes that I'm about to show you on this build, but also it's going to be able to help us get a higher ball handle, which is going to make it easier to dribble. Obviously, even with this lower wingspan, you're able to get contact dunks on this 7'4" build. The only thing that this really affects is going to be our rebounding. Obviously, if you went with an 8-foot wingspan, you're going to be able to get a 99 rebound, but with 7'4" and a 93 rebound, I literally haven't had any problems on this build. I've been able to get rebounds on offense and defense, literally over anyone that's in the paint. And also on defense, you're able to get those high attributes that we were going to get anyways, so there's really no downside. But now moving on to the attributes, we're going to start off in the finishing category, and the first thing that we are going to upgrade is going to be our driving dunk. I'm going to max this out. I know I said this build has contact dunks, and you're probably asking, well, this build only has a 69 driving dunk. How is that possible? We get big man contact dunks on this build, and trust me, they're better than you think. But in order to get those big man contact dunks and be able to equip them on this build, you're gonna need an 84 standing dunk. So already starting off on this build, we have a maxed out driving dunk and then an 84 standing dunk. And then finally, once we upgrade our vertical later on in this video, that is what's gonna allow us to be able to finally equip those contact dunks. So make sure you guys watch all the way to the end. You don't want to skip any important attributes or anything like that. But after that, we have our post control. Now this one is kind of up to you. I upgraded it to an 84, just like my standing dunk, but that is because I wanted Hall of Fame post fade phenom. Now I'm someone that likes to shoot a lot of post fades at the mid range and stuff like that, but if that's not your play style, you obviously don't need your post control all the way up to an 84. You can end up using those attributes elsewhere on defense, playmaking, really anything where you want it. But if you're not going to be using the post control, there's no reason to upgrade it. So this is completely up to you. But if you do want to get in the post, work like that, shoot post fades and stuff like that, I would definitely upgrade this to at least an 84. Now for the driving layup, I want to be able to finish in the paint easily without any problems, so I just maxed this out to a 73, and that's going to make it really easy for you to be able to green your layup every single time. And then also we have our driving dunk maxed out, so mainly you are going to be getting the dunks, but when you do get the layups, it's going to be easy to make them as well. And then our close shot, I upgraded this to an 85. This is another one that's kind of up to you. You can upgrade this more if you feel like you need it, but I've been perfectly fine at an 85, and that's been more than enough for me. Now for the shooting category, this is where it starts to get even crazier, because our mid-range is going to be the first thing that we upgrade here, and we're just going to bring this all the way to the right. We're going to max it out. Like I said, that's going to give us Hall of Fame post fade phenom with our 84 post control. If you drop it to an 89, goes to gold. You want to make sure you have it at a 90. That way you're able to never miss a mid-range. Basically, the mid-ranges are automatic. I can't really miss a mid-range unless I try to miss a mid-range. But after that, we also have our 3-point. We're bringing that all the way to the right. It's getting maxed out as well. That is going to be an 89, and that is another reason why we have a lower wingspan on this build is because it's going to allow us to get such a high 3-point and mid-range. And once again, if you drop this to an 88, limitless range ends up going to bronze. And I feel like the jump from bronze to silver just makes all the difference. With bronze, you kind of still have to stay around the corners, makes it a lot easier to shoot. And obviously, it's going to be easier to shoot from the corners regardless. But when you have that silver limitless range, it just gives you so much more space to work with. You're able to do pick and pops and stuff like that. Having it on silver just makes it so much easier to shoot. And then finally, this one is completely up to you, but I upgraded my free throw all the way to an 87. I play a lot of my career where I do need that free throw. But if you're someone that really just plays park, theater, or somewhere where you don't need the free throw as much, if you want to upgrade it only to an 80, that's completely fine. This is up to you. And if you end up keeping it lower, you could use those attributes elsewhere. Now, moving on to the playmaking part of this build, I feel like I say this about every category on the build, but this is also one of my favorite parts. Our pass accuracy. A lot of you guys were hating on me last year for having a low pass accuracy as a center. So this year, I changed that. We're going to upgrade that all the way to a 71. And the reason we went with a 71 exactly is because that's going to allow us to get silver dimer. Once again, if you drop this one, ends up going to bronze. And I feel like silver dimer is just going to make it so much easier for your teammates to be able to make their shots off of your passes. You also end up getting break starter if you're throwing down the court on 3s or 5s. And then versatile visionary is just going to make it easier for you to throw lobs as well as get the passes through the defense without it getting stolen. So a 71 pass accuracy, I played on this build a ton this year. It's been more than enough, and it definitely makes it a lot easier for you to pass the ball around the floor, get those assists, get your teammates involved. And then your ball handle, one of my favorite parts about this build, once again, we're going to max this out to a 65. That is another reason we went with the lower wingspan, is because it's going to allow you to get such a high ball handle as a 7'4" center. Because if you went with a higher wingspan, it's going to be in the 50s, and it's just going to make it a lot harder for you to dribble. You don't get the same animations and all of that. 65 as a 7'4" literally feels like you're playing on a guard dribbling around the court. Obviously, you're not able to get handles for days, strong handles, ankle assassin on a 7'4" build, but there are certain takeovers that you can use to be able to get ankle breakers at 7'4". It's pretty crazy. But after that, with our speed with ball, we're going to max that out to a 41. Once again, we want to be as fast as possible on a 7'4" build, especially when we're dribbling, because that's going to be very important to be able to get you around the court, be able to get open and stuff like that. So we're going to max out our ball handle and speed with ball, upgrade our pass accuracy to a 71 in the playmaking category. And then moving on to defense, this is where it doesn't lack either, man. We literally have everything on this build. Our interior defense, we're going to bring this up to an 84. It doesn't seem too crazy, but once we upgrade our block, it's going to make more sense. After that, for our perimeter, we're 7'4". We're not going to be doing too much perimeter defense on this build, so I really didn't waste too many attributes there. I only upgraded it to a 35. If you think you're going to be guarding the 3 a lot more, guarding guards and stuff like that, you could definitely upgrade this more than a 35, but I just felt like I didn't need it. And now steal, this is one where you could definitely upgrade more if this is your play style. I just don't go for too many lane steals. I like to guard the paint, get blocks, so that's where I use the attributes. And I feel like whenever I go for a lane steal, if I don't get it, I'm just completely out of the play and I give up a bucket. But if you want to upgrade that steal, you could definitely upgrade that more to be able to get in those lanes and stuff like that. But I decided to use those attributes on my block, so I upgraded that all the way to a 93. And the reason I went with a 93 once again is if you drop it, it goes to silver paint patroller. Gold paint patroller is more than enough. Obviously, you could go to a 97 to be able to get Hall of Fame. I just felt like you didn't need it because I use those attributes on my rebound and physicals and stuff like that. And I feel like 93 block has been more than enough on this build. I get a ton of blocks every single game. I'm able to contest the paint. It's very hard for people to score on you in the paint with this build. So 93 and an 84 interior defense is going to be more than enough to guard the paint every single time, no matter who's in the paint. And then moving on to the rebounding, we are going to have a 68 offensive rebound. I know it doesn't seem too high, but once we upgrade our defensive rebound to a 92, we're going to have all those rebounding badges carry over to offensive rebound as well. So it's going to make it feel like a lot higher than a 68. So with that 92 defensive rebound, you end up getting gold rebound chaser and gold box out beast. I literally haven't had any problems rebounding on this build. I mean, I'm 7'4". I'm gonna get a lot of rebounds regardless, especially if you time them right. So no matter who's in the paint, you're still gonna be able to get a ton of rebounds, whether it's offensive or defensive. Now for our physicals, we went with a lower weight, so we're gonna use that. We're gonna max out our speed so we're as fast as possible, whether we're moving off ball, setting screens, or just running on defense and stuff like that. 56 speed is going to be pretty crazy on a 7'4" build. Our agility, we're going to be doing the same. We're going to max that out to a 42. Our strength, I upgraded to an 83, and what that's going to give us is silver brick wall. You only get it on bronze if you go up to an 82. So I went with an 83. You can go more if you feel like you need it, but I haven't had any problems with strength on this build. And then finally, our vertical, this is very important. You want to max this out to a 70. That is what's going to help you get those big man contact dunks and be able to get contact dunks and be able to dunk on people in general. So that is what's going to be able to help you get that. You end up getting bronze high flying denier, which makes it easier to get chase down, stuff like that. Silver rise up, like I said earlier, silver pogo stick, and stuff like that. But yes, you are going to be able to get contact dunks on this build. I'm going to show you guys all the animations that I use to be able to get them in just a minute. But after that, that is going to finish out our build. We have some incredible finishing, some amazing shooting, some great playmaking, ball handle, and stuff like that on a 7'4" build, some great defense and amazing rebound and stuff like that. And then finally, with shades of Victor Wembanyama, Kristaps Porzingis, and Marc Gasol, we have a rim reaping stretch 5. All right, and now that we're in the park on that exact build, we're going to move over to our animations. And the first thing that we're going to have is our playmaking moves. Let me just show you guys the ones that I use as a 7'4" center. Pass style, I haven't really changed that. Honestly, I've been fine with just the normal one. Our dribble style is going to be basic. Signature size up is going to be normal. Breakdown combos is going to be Victor Wembanyama. Once those came out, I ended up putting a lot of those on. Escape moves is going to be normal. Combo moves going to be Victor Wembanyama. Crossover, Victor Wembanyama. Behind the back is going to be basic. My spin is Karl-Anthony Towns, but honestly, I might end up changing this. It's kind of slow. I'm going to end up looking through those, see which one's best. But for now, I have it on Karl-Anthony Towns. Hesitation is going to be basic. Step back, normal. This is actually a very good one. Gives you a great step back to be able to either dribble out of, shoot out of, or anything like that. So I recommend that. And then triple dutch style is going to be normal. And then I don't have any park flashy passes on. But after that, the free throw I use is Rick Barry. Honestly, best one is probably Kevin Durant, but you could really use whatever you want for free throw. It doesn't really change too much. My go-to shot is actually Victor Wembanyama. This is actually a crazy like up and under move in the post. I like using that a lot. Dribble pull up is going to be normal. My spin jumper is Brooke Lopez, just the best one I found. Still got to look through some more, but hop jumper is going to be basic too. That is a very good one. Make sure to put that on. My dunk style, I'll show you guys all of the dunk styles that I use in just a minute. My layup normal is going to be Victor Wembanyama. Layup reverse, Victor Wembanyama. Layup floater, just the default. Layup quick scoop, default. Layup Euro step is going to be Victor Wembanyama again. The rest of those layups are default. My post fade is going to be Pascal Siakam. I used to use Kevin Durant. That's a great one as well. But I started using Pascal Siakam this year. And honestly, it's either the same or it might even be a little bit better. I like Siakam's a lot as well. My post hook, I don't do too many post hooks, but I have it on Bam Adebayo. Post top shot is going to be Anthony Davis. Post go-to shot, Kevin Durant. That's a great one. And then motion styles, I still got to look through some of these, but for now I have base. Now for the dunk styles, this is what I have on this build. For the 2-foot moving dunks, I have the tomahawks on, and that is going to be the big man tomahawks off 2. Obviously I could buy more of these, but I just feel like I didn't need to. After that, for the 1-foot moving dunks, I have the hangs. The athletic hangs off 1 is the exact one that I have. For the tomahawks off 1, I have big man tomahawks off 1. Our standing dunks, I have a ton over here. For the rim pulls, I have pro under basket rim pulls and elite basket rim pulls. For athletic, I have the 2-hand under basket athletic dunk package. And then contact dunks, like I said, does get contact dunks. Here's proof. I have the pro standing bigs and pro big man contact dunk package on. Now, I know it says pro standing bigs, but you could see you're literally able to run into the paint and dunk on people. So it's obviously going to be driving contacts as well. And I've gotten a ton of contact dunks on this build. And at 7'4", being able to do that is just honestly pretty crazy. Now for the signature dunks, I have Draymond Green, Dwight Howard, and Shaquille O'Neal as well, just because we're a 7'4" center. Got a bunch of centers on there. And then after that, I haven't equipped anything for alley-oops, but that is pretty much it for all the dunk packages that I use. Now, if you guys want me to drop my jump shot for this build, make sure to comment jump shot right now, and let's get to 1,000 likes on this video. But of course, if you guys enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, turn the post notifications on. That way you guys never miss a daily video. And as always, I appreciate you guys for watching.